Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Before I say anything else, I want to thank Dan and Aaron and Lauren for working so hard to get this event organised. And isn't it brilliant that Young Independents are now having events up and down the country? Yeah. We're having regional events all over the place, and it is brilliant to see Young Independents members leading on the front foot, working for our party and our country. Right, now we've got this regional launch, is that correct? Not conference, although it is like a conference. If we cast our mind back a year and a half, Young Independents had its first ever conference on itself, by its own, in London. There was 40 people at that conference. You can cast your eyes around now, there's more than 40 people. 5 months ago, we had our second National Young Independents Conference in Birmingham at the Town Hall, and we had 150 people. So doesn't that show you the growth that Young Independents has had over this period of time? We've gone from having 40 people in a national conference to having 50, 60, 70 people at regional conferences. Next year, well this year, sorry, in July, we will be having our national conference in Nottingham. The venue is 350, and we've already sold out half our tickets, already. Now that shows you that we're growing. Right, so I was going to speak a little bit about the growth of UKIP, and I sort of did then. On the run-up to the European elections in May, the 3 months beforehand, we gained 700 members. Last year, Young Independents grown by 78%. 78%. Now, the BBC yesterday, in an article online, said that we had 2,900 members. That's wrong, ladies and gentlemen. We're approaching 3,100 members. When I first joined UKIP in 2011, 4.5 years ago, in Shropshire, in Telford, Shropshire, I turned up to the meeting and there wasn't a member under the age of 40. I was the only member under the age, sorry Jill, I should have said under 50. There was no young members under the age of 25 in the whole of Shropshire. So I was on my own. Fortunately, I had people like Jill Seymour, who's now an MEP, to welcome me to the branch, help me, get me joined up and involved, and I thank her very much for that. So, Young Independents, there was a Young Independents then, but there was about a couple hundred of us. 50 of us would turn up to 50 of us were actively involved, sorry, and about 5 of us would turn up to the National Action Days. You know, you'd have the one person that would go out leafleting, and then you'd have the 4 people that went to the pub, and I'm happy to say that I was always in the pub. So, like I said, I joined in 2011, and to see how we've grown over this period of time is astounding. To now having over 3,000 members, you know, that is just under about 8-9% of the party, which is actually higher than the other parties. You look at Conservative Future and Liberal Democrats, and Labour, their young membership doesn't exist like ours. We are the fastest growing youth wing of any party. Who here could think that 78% of these rival parties could match that? No one. Right, so I'm going to talk about the vision for YI and the structure of YI and where we're going. So, in Birmingham, 5 months ago at our national conference, we announced a complete restructure. We rewrote our constitution and we completely changed how YI was done. YI used to be seen as some sort of drinking club. I hope to continue that. But and win elections, of course, with no structure, no organisation, no accountability, and we seek to change that. So, we implemented something called YI branch representatives, which means that your UKIP chairman in your branches can appoint someone to their committee from the Young Independents membership. That gives them, Young Independents members, access to the database for their area, their constituency, and also gives them the permission from the party to go into schools, universities and colleges. And that is one of the biggest reasons, in my opinion, why Young Independence is growing. And it's thanks to the members in here today being active, going into schools, universities and colleges, catching them before the socialists do. Then we have county chairmen, which coordinate the regional representative, the branch representatives, and coordinate, make sure that they're doing county action days, etc. And that's gone down quite well. We now have over 50% of counties, 60% of counties, sorry, now have YI county chairman. And then we have the regional chairman, which follows suit with the national structure. And then we have the YI council, which are elected at the conference in every August. So if there's any branch chairman here today, or any young members that aren't currently involved and want to get involved a bit more in with their branch, come and speak to me at the end, and I'll put you in the right direction, hopefully. Right, the next thing is universities. We have all seen how universities have stigmatised UKIP. They've excluded us. They've tried to kick us out. It gives us good press, actually, if I'm honest with you. We now have 25 university societies, official university societies. This time last year, it was 6. I'll talk about Derbyshire University first. The NUS of that university excluded us. You're not allowed on campus. Your MEPs cannot come to our meetings. You can't join the debates until the young UKIP members of that region at that university stood up to the establishment, made national press and won. They beat the NUS and all their money. And that makes me proud to think that the people that we're getting involved in UKIP aren't just concerned about their country, but they're also concerned about democracy at all levels, and they fought and won. I think that's something we can be very proud of. Now this comes on to the most recent university related thing. We have a gentleman at the back called Brett, who goes to Nottingham University, as you might have read the papers and national news recently on Sky News. They banned us from forming a university society at the University of Nottingham. Until Brett and his colleague Dave, doesn't matter, Dave Paul, thought we've had enough of this. They took it straight to the top. The next day, they were on Sky News, ridiculing the university, putting Young Independence on a national stage, and beating the establishment yet again. I believe we're in the process of beating them even more. But that's not up to me, and that's not up to Jack Duffin, my colleague, who's YI chairman, and that's not to us UKIP members. That's up to them young people who've had enough and have got involved in their universities. So I'd like to thank you all for listening to me. Thank you to Dan and Aaron, and thank you to all your Young Independence members that are here today. Thank you.